Hello students, today we are going to talk on the topic or we are going to study the topics transportation in humans. When we are talking about the transportation system, we are going to first talk about the transportation in humans. Okay, how does the blood is carried in all the parts of our body, how the transportation of the blood occurs. When we talk about the transportation system in human beings, there are few things like involved, that is the blood, then the arteries, veins, capillaries and heart. Let's see what are the functions of all those things. First one is the blood. Blood, what is the function of the blood? It transports the food, oxygen and waste products. And what is blood consist of? It consists of the red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. Okay, and plasma also. And the plasma is involved in the transportation of food, water, carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste. Okay, and the red blood cells is involved in the transportation of oxygen, and white blood cells kills the harmful microbes and protects our body. And what is the function of the platelets? It helps in the clotting of blood. All these things you have studied in your lower classes: the plasma, the red blood cells, then the white blood cells, and as well as the platelets. Then platelets, it also helps in the prevents the loss of the blood during an injury. Okay, apart from that, there is another thing involved, that is the arteries and the veins. Okay, what is the function of the artery? Artery, it carries the pure blood from the heart to all the parts of the body. Okay, and it is a thick walled and it do not have valves. Valves means there is no division. Okay, and in the same way, veins, they contains the impure blood from all the parts of the body to the heart. Impure blood means it comprises of the waste material such as the carbon dioxide. That is why we call it as the impure blood. And they are thin walled and have the valves. Next one is the capillaries. What is the capillary? Capillaries are very narrow blood vessels. Arteries and veins both are also the blood vessels. Okay, but capillaries are the very narrow blood vessels which connects the arteries and the veins together. That means when there is the joining of the arteries and veins, that is called as the capillaries. And what happens over there? There is the exchange of the food, water and the oxygen, carbon dioxide, and between the blood and the cells takes place through these capillaries. All these exchange process occurs between the blood and the cells through these capillaries only. So in a diagram they have shown over here is you can consider this as the artery and you can consider this as the vein. This is also a blood vessel and this is also a blood vessels. Further small blood vessels are there. Okay, can you see this part? Further small like the blood vessels are there and both are joined together. Can you see this section? Both are joined together and this is called as the capillaries. Okay, and you can see the structure. You can see the structure of this artery. This is the connective tissue and this is the epithelial tissue. In the same way, here also it is the connective tissue, then smooth muscles, and here is the valve. As I have mentioned, in arteries there is no valve, but in the veins there are the valves. So when we are talking about the transportation system, the very important part is the heart. Okay, heart, you all know, it is a muscular organ and it composed of the cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles means you can also say it as the heart muscles. Okay, and it is so small that it can fit inside an adult wrist. So the size of your fist is the size of your heart, and this is called as the pumping organ which pumps the blood. That means whenever there is the transportation of blood inside our body, it is due to the pumping organ, that is heart. It pumps the blood. The human heart is composed of four chambers, that is the right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle and left atrium. So these are the very important parts that you have to remember: right atrium, right ventricle and left atrium. Okay, then two types of like contractions and relaxations are there. They are called as the systole and another one is called as the diastole. Contraction of the cardiac muscles, whenever there is the contraction process occurring in the cardiac muscles or the heart muscles, it is called as the systole, and when there is a relaxation of the cardiac muscles or the heart muscles, it is called as the diastole. Okay, then arteries, what is the function of an arteries? You can see over here. These are the thick walled blood vessels. You have to remember, arteries are thick, whereas the veins are thin walled blood vessels. It carries the oxygenated blood and it carries the deoxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood means the blood is rich in oxygen. Okay, arteries contains the oxygen rich blood, and this contains the deoxygenated, that means carbon dioxide containing blood, in which there is like less oxygen or no oxygen. And what it does, it pumps it from the heart to different parts of the organs. But here what happens, from different parts of the organs to the heart, that you have to remember. Arteries is from the heart to the parts. Okay, but what happens in veins, it happens from the parts of the body to the heart. This all things you have to remember. Okay, and because they carry the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart, the walls are present in the veins to prevent the backflow of the blood. What is the function of the walls? To prevent the backflow of the blood. Okay, and as I told you, what is capillaries? These are the blood vessels which have a single celled walls, and it connects the arteries and the veins. So what are the components of the blood? Blood is, first of all, what is a blood? It is a connective tissue which plays the role of the carrier for the various substances in the body. So whenever there is the transportation of any kinds of material inside our body, here the blood is involved, and it contains the plasma, blood cells and the platelets. What is a blood plasma? Blood plasma is a pale colored liquid which is mostly composed of the water, and the blood plasma forms the matrix of the blood. Second one is blood cells. It contains the red blood cells as well as the white blood cells. Okay, and we can also call it as red blood corpuscles also, we can say that. These are red in color because of the presence of hemoglobin. All these you have studied in your 8th standard. Okay, all these are red in color due to the presence of the hemoglobin, which is a pigment. And hemoglobin, what is the function of the hemoglobin? It combines with the oxygen and the carbon dioxide, and then the transportation occurs through the hemoglobin, and some part of the carbon dioxide is also transported through the hemoglobin. So you can say hemoglobin acts as the transportation material, or you can say it combines with oxygen and it transports to the various cells. That is why transporter, you can say that the hemoglobin can be called as the transporter. And white blood corpuscles, they are pale white in color, and what is the function? It plays an important role in the immunity because it fight against the diseases or the germs. Then next one is the platelets. Platelets are responsible for the blood coagulation. Blood coagulation means whenever you are in any kind of injury and the blood is flowing, after some times the blood automatically stops. It is because of the blood platelets. And blood coagulation is a defense mechanism which prevents the excess loss of the blood in case of the injury. Whenever there is an injury, it prevents the excess loss of the blood. This is very important. You have to remember this one. So when we talk about the blood vessels, as you all know, we will be talking about the arteries, veins and the blood capillaries. You have to remember there are 3 blood vessels: arteries, veins and the blood vessels. You can see arteries, veins and blood capillaries. Okay, and what are their functions? They carry the blood throughout the body. Their function is to transport or to carry the blood throughout our body. And arteries carries the oxygenated blood and veins carry the deoxygenated blood. And gaseous exchange takes place between the blood and cells at capillaries. So all the exchanging process occurs in the capillaries. So here you can see the difference between arteries and veins. You have to remember this one. These are very important. You need to remember what is the difference between the arteries and the veins. First one is it carries the blood away from the heart. It carries the blood towards the heart. Next one is it is thicker than the vein. It is comparatively thinner than the artery. And the pulmonary artery carries the deoxygenated blood and pulmonary vein carries the oxygenated blood. You have to remember, actually arteries carries the oxygenated blood, but when we talk about the pulmonary artery, it carries the carbon dioxide rich blood. In the same way, veins carry the carbon dioxide rich blood or deoxygenated blood, but the pulmonary vein carries the oxygenated blood. This is the only difference that you need to remember over here. Okay. Then arteries have a rigid walls and veins have comparatively thin walls. Okay, and blood flows under the pressure through an artery. Blood flows through the vein in much calmer. That means high pressure is in arteries and low pressure is in veins. And the lumen of arteries is narrow and the lumen of veins is comparatively wider. So these are the differences that you need to remember. So that's it all for today. We'll be continuing the same topic in our next video with further informations. Thank you, students.